Hello again, everyone. Melth here, with more of my Baldur's Gate 3 challenge run. This time we'll be getting one of the best helmets, maybe even the best helmet in the entire game, hidden behind several layers of secret passageways in the Masons Guild. That'll also be our ticket to saving, or in-character at least, saving Malus Thorm's poor patient after we killed off Malus Thorm in the House of Healing last time. That was a fun boss fight. As usual, details of my challenge run are in the YouTube video description, and watch out for spoilers throughout this run. Alright, so Malus Thorm and all the sisters have been laid waste. The patient is there. You can't lockpick the patient free due to just kind of silliness, basically. The only way to free the patient is with a knock scroll. And as it happens, I don't actually have a knock scroll, but I know one place in the game you can get one. So, in character, we're probably leaving someone here to guard this guy. We'll run over next door to the Masons Guild to grab heavy tools to break his manacles and whatnot. What we'll actually get, of course, is a knock scroll. I think this is the way, right? Yes, that's the way. Now we know in character that the Masons Guild was the center of Selûnite resistance to the Shard takeover that destroyed everything and everyone in town. So we might be hoping to find some lingering remnant of Selûna's forces or magic there. The Masons Guild is a really cool building. It's multi-leveled, it's got all these indoor and outdoor different floors and balconies and things like that. I love it in terms of design. It is a shame there aren't any cool battles going on there. You know, I'd love it if we were fighting creatures inside and outside the house or something like that at the same time on different levels. That could be pretty cool. You could pretty easily have some kind of stone-themed traps or whatever up here too. Maybe you can drop a masonry block on it, like kind of back in, you remember back in Act 1 in the crypt where you find withers and whatnot, there's a big stone block you can drop on the other adventuring party there. Something like that here could have easily fit the masonry, guild surrounds and added spice to a possibly interesting fight in this area. Anyway, a cool building. Although I loved exploring it the first time through, now that I know that it's basically empty, it's not quite as fun, is what I'm saying. I'd also say that one of the great strengths of this game, compared to playing at the tabletop, is that you can really do 3D environments much better in a video game than you really could do when you just kind of have hexagons or squares or the like on a table with some simple miniatures. So I do wish they'd done a little bit more with that. I'm going to go out this way and find Corilla, by the way, which kind of is it's not really an Easter egg, but just an interesting minor thing you can find.
Varying shapes, sizes, and
so they pulverize the bones of the Grand Mason. I guess mix it with other creatures, probably to ridicule him or something like that. I don't know. Because they found out that he, of course, was conspiring against Shard to try to make the town not be horrible for everyone for all time. How dare he? So I think Corilla is hiding. Yeah, there she is. Okay. If you attack her, I think she just teleports away, doesn't take damage, but you can go up and chat to her. Oh, I couldn't actually do it. I misclicked. She doesn't say much, she just tells you that you're still necessary, so be careful. Anyway. You can find her in a few spots in the game, like at the Tiefling party and whatnot. Or if you get captured, I guess, by Priestess Gut, then Corilla will come and save you. She's just working for Raphael, though, is the important thing. And just trying to make sure that you get through things all right, I guess, to get to the point where you can help Raphael and then he won't need you anymore. She's the evil sister, I believe, of Hope from the House of Hope that we'll go into later on. Let me not explore any further. One thing that I've learned, which is a pretty useful tip, is just that exploration XP is based on your level, whereas, of course, battle XP I already knew was not based on your level. So you can maximize your XP gain if you don't do any exploration that you don't need to do until you've already done all the battles in an area, basically. I don't really love how that works, but that seems to be the case. In any case, let's go over to the secret basement where the shadows are waiting for us, and then we can also get the knock scroll that is in here. Sadly, I don't think I came across one over the course of my adventures. They're on random scroll lists, I just didn't happen to get one. So here is the basement, which is already, not secret, but possible to overlook, for sure. And then in here we find that there is a secret passageway, openable with the key that we got, I believe, from Mattis back at Last Let In. There we go, yep.
Something over there.
Wait a minute. One raven. I knew I was short one. Come on. Okay, well I'm going to take some time to pilot this raven that forgot how to fly out of here. Something weird that happened on my first run, by the way. So I had a raven get lost in the Shadowfell, because it just didn't follow me down the pathing there. And then, of course, there's no way to retrieve it because the portal out of the Shadowfell closes, so it was just stuck there. I thought, well, yeah, whatever, I don't really need it. But then the weird thing was, when I was doing the final battle of Act 2, well, what you expect to be the final battle of Act 2, on top of the Moonrise Towers, the Raven showed up then in combat order again. I think that probably in like the game files, the way things might be loaded behind the scenes, I'm betting that the Shadowfell and the top of Moonrise Towers are kind of in the same area, although they are, of course, in the game world, not anywhere close to each other. That's my interpretation of why that would be anyway. A lot of time in designing a video game, you really only use like a certain amount of kind of 3D space in that you just unload a map that's not in use and load a map that is in use and so on. Dark Souls 2, for example, pretty much like half the maps are stacked on top of each other, which is pretty silly compared to how in Dark Souls 1 everything was laid out the way they actually connected. But anyway, it's a typical kind of time-saving trick in making video games. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did that here, and I just happened to discover by accident that the Shadowfell is in the same place as Moonrise Tower's top. Can you not do that? Ah, okay. In that case, I guess I need to send the Raven back to a waypoint and then have a Starry teleport there and pick it up. Okay, we've got everyone back.
Pave my path with
So here we have the secret passes the Masons dug out, I guess.
bones.
I kind of assume you're a thief. Seemingly the Shark people never actually found their way in here, just the Shadow Curse killed everyone without any direct Justiciar intervention. Despite the ominous warning, there's really a surprising dearth of dangerous traps here. There is one that's pretty cool, but just one. The Masons Guild, I would think, would be really a perfect excuse to have a trap-filled area, and it's a shame they didn't do more of that. Could have been interesting if it was handled right, I think. Maybe some battles mixed in while you're dodging traps and whatnot. In any case, we'll just disarm that and that'll be the end of it. If you fail to disarm it, this is an unusually elaborate one. Instead of just blowing up on you, basically some walls pop up there and then some gargoyle heads pop up there and start breathing fire at you. It's pretty easy to handle though because like it goes turn-based mode automatically and you can just, pretty easily break the gates and then walk out. So again, I like the idea of this one. I just kind of wish that there were more of these masonry traps here in this point where it's appropriate for them to have in their hideout when they're good at making stone things anyway, some clever traps and whatnot. Anyway, that's the end of that. No more traps.
Mind never quiet. At the ready. Let's see what this does.
So in this giant, ominous room, we're going to have a fun battle against a horde of shadows and a Wraith, I think. A Wraith is just a super shadow in this game. Oh, we can even see it. Adorable, googly yellow eyes over there. Okay. So the shadows, of course, can hide in shadow. That's going to be their biggest asset in this fight, I would say. We'll want to have light, that is Karlach, able to move around pretty far to get to all of them. Who's got Crusher's Ring? Minthara currently has it. I think we'll switch that up. Not that that's helpful for her right now, we're just temporarily giving her this so she can get around faster.
Let's move. With haste.
Alright, we'll walk up and start the fight now. We can see you right there. Do I have to attack them to start it? Try that. Stealth assist, what? Okay. I am always weirded out by how sometimes when you're not even in stealth mode, it'll act as though you are, and strange stuff sometimes. Wait a minute, how did that air elemental lose initiative? It's got +5. Okay, it must have had a really low roll versus a quite high roll. Fair enough. I forgot I did not get them vigilance elixirs because their +5 is usually good enough. Alright, so we're surrounded by shadows here, but if we can just get them revealed, we'll be okay. The trouble is that Karlach is blocked, so Minthara, if you get out of the way, that'll make things much easier, won't it? No, wait, that's not Karlach I'm looking at. Yes, it is. Okay, what are you even blocked by, Karlach? That air elemental? Come on.
Let's go.
No, it still doesn't want to move. Okay.
The dance macabre.
Oh my word.
Is it that skeleton? Really? Okay. We have finally unstuck Karlach. That was surprisingly difficult. Let's bring the light over here so we can see these guys. And we even got the blind on them. How nice.
They're dying.
Malus is a good choice to attack them with because he does extra radiant damage, which is super effective against shadows, but not against the Wraith, I don't think. Yeah, the Wraith resists many things but has no weaknesses. Just kind of a relative weakness against radiant, but not actually vulnerable to it. So that should be guaranteed instant death as long as I don't miss one of the 2 attacks. Nice. There we're getting myself another pair of attacks. Yeah, I guess I don't even actually need Lathander's Light for this one, do I?
Done.
Oh right, I should have used it to get the radiant damage on them though. I was being silly about that. That's fine though. You should be able to just finish off that injured shadow, I think. Nice.
I got this.
Now, getting a star in a point where he can shoot that thing might be tricky. Let's see. Yeah, he's blocked there, but I bet if he runs over this way, he can do it. That should be instant death. Oh, it doesn't have sharpshooter on. Silly me. Alright, I need to shape up a bit here. Let's have him fire one more shot at that one. He thereby turns invisible, and now Karlach can come on down and inflict blind, hopefully, on these guys. Okay. Not on the Wraith, but that's fine.
Let's have some courage.
Got that one. That one, okay. Failed on that one. That's fine. The Karlach still has her action. Yeah, let's just bash that thing with Lathander's Light.
Shouldn't have wished to live.
Alright, we can now steal all their silverware. So it's not just, Kether converted, like all the Thorms became insane Shar worshippers, really. Well, Malus did anyway, I guess. The others kind of just seem to have gone along with it willingly. So they were a corrupt and awful family to begin with, apparently. And the whole town, collaborated too readily and let these evil people who just massacred them take root in their midst and then start killing their fellow citizens, and it was all very predictable. Given that they were a Selena worshipping town, I should have known that Shar is the ultimate evil in the universe. So, Morfred was the other brother that was mentioned, who was generally found underneath the Last Light Inn, and he made a deal with a devil, as we found out about, to basically destroy the Sharan army. We'll meet him in the Last Light, not the Last Light, in the House of Hope, as one of the damned souls there. Halfred and Morfred. So they planned to go and infiltrate the place and then destroy it from the inside, but I guess they didn't get around to that because they were, found out and murdered by the Inquisition of the Sharans. You'd expect these to be the spirits of the Masons or something like that, but instead we get things that don't seem to be related to the Masons by and large.
Walking along a beach, before the shadows, holding hands with her husband to be, full of warmth and children's laughter in this one's life. No more.
There we go. Let's disarm that trap. Rare, but not unheard of, for a chest and skin to be both locked and trapped. Usually they intelligently, I think, pick one or the other. which makes sense in universe. This is one of the best helmets in the entire game. It's just phenomenal. You know, Arcane Acuity, again, is the thing that lets your spell attack rolls, and more importantly, your spell saviocy increase, basically. And so, with a character that has extra attack and ways to attack with their offhand and things like that, you can get a lot of attacks in one round. Then if you have something like Haste or Bloodlust Elixir to give you another, action to cast a spell, you can cast a spell that's basically irresistible. Now, I already kind of have ways to do that. Like, my Karlach spells are basically irresistible, 90% chance to hit most guys and whatnot, so don't really need more than that. But on many, many runs, this is one of the best items in the game. It's especially great, people often say, for Swords Bard. The supposedly amazing combo with it is to take that plus the ring that lets you do bonus action certain spell types in Act 3, and then you main attack use your Bard ability to shoot multiple times per attack, and then you, with your bonus action, use a spell that can't be resisted anymore. And that's pretty good, but I feel like you don't really need that per se. You can already get things up to a point of irresistibility pretty readily without doing all of the Bardic Inspirations, and then just cast with the main action rather than the bonus action using, Haste or Bloodlust. Nothing fancy required, no ring slot required. This, again, I think is kind of... We found a book about this before, but I think it kind of is a clue about Shadowheart's background, where her father was a lycanthrope who, through a blessing of Selûne, became able to control his lycanthropy. She didn't know about it, apparently mistook him for a wolf or whatever. That, I assume, is what the point of that book is, so let us know about that going on.
I hope.
A new outfit. They really make us wait until, like, Act 3 before we can get good clothes. Which might feel silly, and kind of is silly, but it does also feel, in a certain way, satisfactory that you are, at the same time you're getting legendary artifacts to wield in battle, you're getting finally good clothes to wear. Instead of road dust gray stuff, or... so here's notes about the Shadowkai. The Shadowkai have referred to, like, 4 different races over the course of different editions and whatnot, so... Any lore about them may be contradictory and confusing because it refers to many different things. The Raven Queen is also, lore about her varies a lot. The Shadowfell itself didn't exist until 4th edition. Before that it was the Plane of Shadow, was a reflection of the world you're in. I wouldn't spend too much time learning about their lore because they'll probably change it again next edition. We will meet a Shadowkai here in Act 2 and get a little quest from him before too long.
Always room for more.
Here we find out about a secret treasure, I think. So we'll explore that later if we haven't already got it. And there is a secret passageway within a secret passageway. This logbook might sound like it's relevant, but as far as I'm aware, it's actually not. We found this in the Druid Grove too. So nothing to do with the Masons in particular, I don't think. Likewise, the Secret Societies thing is a generic book we found in Druid Town, so that is here in the hideout of an actual secret society, I'm not sure is actually relevant. I think these chests are finally untrapped. There is the only pre-play scroll of Knock that I know about in the game, so I can now free that poor prisoner. That we sure don't need, all our guys have disguise self. All this stuff with, like, conspiratorial masons and their hidden passageways and secret walls and wine cellar, it makes you think of the Cask of Amontillado. I didn't really like most stories by Poe, but I did always find that one to be pretty funny. Alright, with that, I think we've explored all there is to do in the Masons Guild. So let us get back to the Grand Mausoleum and go over and free that prisoner. Now, as I mentioned, I don't think they really intended you to be able to free him. He kind of supposed to just be horribly killed in the cutscene, and also they're supposed to gouge out his eyes. We intervened before that would logically happen, but his eyes are still gone, and you really can't do anything to save him. He'll just kind of run off and vanish into the darkness. But in character, we totally saved this guy. We bring him back to camp, and he lives happily ever after. It's kind of just buggy behavior. He teleports elsewhere, and sometimes you see him run out, sometimes you don't. In this case, he just kind of vanished. Well, there's a lot of just generic stuff to search through in this area and loot, so I'll be at that for a bit, I guess. Always remember to check rows of books. It seems to have like a, I don't know, 25% chance of having a random scroll in them, basically. Ah, here's some Shar propaganda. Very silly, because of course everyone can just see the evidence of their own eyes about how Selûne and Shar interact with the world, and how Shar is a goddess of lies, deception, evil, assassinations, and all kinds of stupid things. Oh, her fondness is warm, from the goddess who rebelled because she didn't want warmth to exist in the universe. Typical. Was this Ketheric's speech that we found before? We found a copy of something similarly named out in the battlefield. Yeah, okay. So we found it at a more appropriate place, I thought, where it's just kind of someone's notes on the speech he gave before the battle, but now we also found it here. I guess Malus is his relative and might have also had a copy or whatever, but it seemed like they all got wiped out not long after the battle. So, I don't know. It's fine. Just a little odd. This is kind of a joke, as I recollect. Lilin, who we're about to be meeting, will be apparently the winner of this little contest that 1 week. And Lidwin is here with Arabella's parents, I believe, who are both dead, for all our efforts to save them multiple times. Quite disappointing.
The doctors found oblivion. Well, no time to mourn. I'll fix this without him.
Is that Arabella's father she's tending? Our little idle thief has some...
Surprised that Astarion recognizes her in character. Out of character, I'm sure every character has a remark about this minor thing. I appreciate the work they put in having, various characters react to different things. There's less of that in Act 2 than there was in Act 1, but it's still good. This is a silly question. Why aren't you just reviving the dead body? Would be probably more reasonable.
Not dead.
Anyway, the sisters are delusional and silly.
Ease the pain.
This wouldn't make any sense. It can't have been very long. This will unlock her as a merchant. She mostly just sells consumables.
I knew these hands would not fail me.
I don't know whether she outright murdered them or they're dead by the time she got here. Who knows?
Not much left now, but you're welcome to look.
This is probably worth considering, at least. I believe, so don't get these two things mixed up. There's Karabossen's Gift, which is a grenade that does paralysis in an AoE with a special rider effect to it that makes him vulnerable to different types of damage. That is amazing. And there's this, which is also very good, in that it's, I think, identical to Carrion Crawler Mucus, as far as I'm aware. Paralyzing Poison, that's pretty good. We do have a good number of those already. I don't know if I should buy the full stock, but I am just buying them at cost and can sell them back at cost if I need to, so I'll go ahead and do that. And we can just paralyze people whenever we want to. Oh, I don't have enough money with me because I sent it all to camp. Whoops. That's fine. I don't think I actually need all this.
Now.
I don't think I'll keep her alive. I'm probably going to just kill her at this point. And then take the patients out and return them for a decent burial.
Fight.
Not that we can actually do that in character, but you know what I mean. I'll send them to camp and we'll presume that they're actually buried properly.
Delicious. No one stopped me yet.
Oh hey, we got the poison anyway. Well, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to pick up. You know what? Let's equip you with the Hill Giant strength thing so you can pick them up long to send them to camp. Okay, well, in character we would have brought these bodies here with due ceremony and probably asked Withers to revive them, but he just, for whatever arbitrary reason, won't. We've done all we can in character. Out of character, all we can do is just talk to her and say that your parents are dead. They are right there, Arabella.
No.
You don't actually physically need to bring them there. I was just trying to roleplay a bit here.
isn't true. It isn't! Get away from me! Go!
Withers won't say anything helpful about this.
Turns ever. Dost thou require a new ally?
Alright, I think after a rest, is then better and able to talk to us. Well, I think next up for us is one of the best battles in all of Act 2, the humongous onslaught of shadow creatures when you try to have Halsin open up the portal to the Shadowfell back on the beach near Lashlight Inn. Looking forward to doing that next time. Maybe after looting the rest of this place first. Thank you for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Master Knight DH, Jackie, and Lino, Travis, Carlo Andrea 97, Cthulhu's Mom, Oliver, Andrew Curzon, Trubsy, Skill Route, Gregory, William Wakefield, Danny Hall, Jeffrey Morse, Jost, Becca, Jack, Mashas01, Jacob Marshall, Nubiana, Till Fisher, Discord Colossus, Nicholas Schmuck, Kostya Nesterovich, Goman Blackrock, Dodo King 4, Marcin Bialek, Techno Waffle, Nebular, I Loop, Michael Francis, Emperor Kong 420, Robin Mackey, Micken Balls, Stygian Flamey, Micah Marie, Christopher Allen, Stefan Van Zyl, Eddie, Wendy, Ali Kasamoglu, Lucas Riverola, Skylar Sauce, Nick Myers, Bethany James, Emp Ninjas, Previn, Mango Jelly, and Chupaton. Have a great day, everyone.